Welcome back to another Music Monday, episode 15, man. It's crazy. Started this journey back in April, doing rap songs that I'd already heard of, and it was like after that popular Monster review, that's where the channel just kind of took a completely different direction. But it's cool. It's awesome. Like I said, I'm appreciative. I'm thankful that I get to listen to music that I don't hear on a daily basis. I may never go back to it, but I'm just trying to give you guys some honest, authentic, genuine reactions. And I feel like for the most part, I've been able to do that so far. Even when I get discouraged, even if I feel like I'm a total fucking fraud because this isn't my genre, I'm just going off of what I have, which is my fucking brain, and whatever comes to my mind, I just stick with it and I power through. But we've reached a turning point, I think, for the channel because I just started a Patreon page. And I'm not going to get too far into it because I have yet to really figure out the details of what I'm going to offer on my Patreon page. A lot of you people that, have watched probably multiple YouTubers across hundreds of thousands of different videos, whoever your favorite YouTubers are, you probably noticed that some of them, or a few of them, or a good handful of them, use Patreon to support their channel or to support the artistic process of continuing to make videos. I won't say that YouTube is the hardest thing in the world to do, but it is time consuming sometimes because you got to show up every week, you got to film the video, and then you have to edit it, which, in total may take 3 or 4 hours, just depending on, how long it takes. I mean, you never really know how long it's going to take. So, I created this Patreon page in hopes to get support, and then hopefully I'll also be able to offer you guys more content on the Patreon. And that's what's really cool about Patreon is it allows the fans, the subscribers, the people that are paying money to give input and maybe almost like a guiding hand in where they want the channel or the content to go. So, I do podcasts, but I haven't really been doing podcasts lately because you guys really like the Music Monday thing. So, and again, this is me just spitballing ideas. I don't really know if this is what I'll do, but maybe instead of doing these 20 to 25 minute uncut, unfiltered reactions, maybe I cut down the full reaction down to like 10 or 15 minutes, and then on the Patreon, so if you're paying money on the Patreon to support me, then you can get the full uncut, unfiltered version. But I even think it would be cool to do something like maybe one-on-one calls with you guys over Zoom, and maybe just even chat music or life or whatever the fuck it is that you guys want to talk about. I think that would be super fucking cool. And then, depending on the conversation length and whatnot, maybe I could put those on my channel as a podcast. So I don't really know. I don't really have it all ironed out just yet. I just wanted to create a Patreon, get it ready, and then start working with these ideas, whatever comes to me, and see what works and what doesn't. So we'll play around with that. We'll see what happens as time goes on, but I figured I would just let you guys know I got a Patreon, so if you want to come over there and support me, that'd be awesome. But for today's Music Monday, music reaction track review, I ran into a kid that I went to high school with. I'm pretty sure that was last Saturday or Sunday. His name is Cody Smith. And we were just chatting, and he's now a quarterbacks coach for Indianola. And so we both went to Indianola, home of the Indians, in the heart and soul of Iowa, southern Iowa. But I don't know, we were just catching up, and I told him how I'm doing these music reactions. And so he gave me a suggestion, which is Close Your Eyes is the band, and the song is called Song for the Broken. Now, I know I've heard of these guys. I think they blew up like 10 years ago. And I may have heard of this song. This song actually may be in my music library. Even if it is, even if I've already heard of it, I haven't listened to this band in probably a decade, so I'm going to give it a chance, see what it pulls out of me 10 years later after I've already heard of it a few times. And I probably haven't gone back to them since they first blew up. I remember hearing about Close Your Eyes. I remember hearing about these guys right around the time that I was kind of hearing about A Day to Remember. But I don't think these guys had enough juice or enough impact or enough influence on me to continue listening to them. And I don't know if they died off at some point. I think, so 9 years ago, that was, where were we at, 2021, so 2011, so 2012 is right around the time that this song came out. So I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know if they've made music since, or if they kind of fell apart, if their fan base fell off. I don't know. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm just willing to give this song another chance and see what happens. So we're going to get into it. Cody, thank you for the suggestion. I'm excited for this. Close Your Eyes, and the song is Song for the Broken. Here we go.
If you're a content creator of any kind, you need to start using Artlist for your videos. I'm Ryan, filmmaker, host, and...
Okay, I mean, right off the bat, I remember this song. I think this was one of the songs that I actually really liked by Close Your Eyes. It's already bringing back a similar tone, a similar sound that I've already heard, but either way, I'm still going to listen to it because fuck it, why not? Yeah, like I can already remember this song just because it was so fucking catchy back in the day. It had such a good hook, such a good chorus, and this guy, don't know the singer's name, has a great voice as well. Like I was saying earlier, these guys, because my introduction to A Day to Remember came around 2011. It was actually that summer when I was in 8th grade and I was going into freshman year, and I hung out with a bunch of the pool rats and the skate rats. We would go back and forth between the Indianola pool and the skate park because they were right next to each other, and that was like our routine every day that summer. But that's when I got exposed to A Day to Remember, and they became like one of my favorite bands of all time. But then closely after that, I remember hearing Close Your Eyes, and I think this was probably the first song that I heard, because don't quote me if I'm right or wrong, but I think that this is probably their most popular, most significant song that people identify with when listening to Close Your Eyes. Like their fan base is probably like, yeah, this is their best song, or like the song that got them noticed or like broke them through. it sounds so good, and then I remember like any other song that I've heard from Close Your Eyes just didn't live up to the hype that this one did, and that's what makes me think is like, were they not able to carry on as a band? Did they not have enough firepower? Like what happened to the momentum of Close Your Eyes? Because this is, along with a lot of the other top tier bands, this is a very high quality song that I think, did very well and propelled these guys into the limelight. So it's like, did they not have the talent or the drive or the motivation to be relevant into the future and have sustainability as a band or as artists, which is such a tough thing to do? It's one thing to break through the scene, but it's another thing to attract that fan base and then push it even further and make a career out of it. It's just a very rare thing to do. I mean, think of how many people in this world have started bands, tried to be their own solo performer, and just couldn't make it. They just kept doing like little small shows here and there, maybe got a few big gigs, but never made it through. And it's like we look at the artists and the people that are like our favorites, and they're such a small percentage of all those people that were aspiring to be artists that are now dominating the market of music. So when I look at Close Your Eyes, I haven't heard anything from them since. Now maybe that was just me personally, like I just stopped listening to their music, but I don't even like I don't hear any buzz. I don't hear any any other bands performing with them, especially in their genre. But like A Day to Remember, you look at them and their legacy, and they were able to carry that on consistently. And I know that they've gotten a lot of flack, especially recently with their last few albums that don't hold up to their prior work, like Homesick and What Separates Me From You and Common Courtesy and their earlier albums. But you have to give them credit. Like, they're still making music. And on their latest album that they released in March, which was called You're Welcome, they had that song Everything We Need that was a single and is being played all the fucking time on the radio. And I know, I'm right there with you. If you're an A Day to Remember fan, I don't like their new shit as much as I like their old shit, but I can appreciate the fact that they're still making music, man. They're still fucking just out there living their dream. So again, maybe I'm completely wrong, and if you guys know anything about Close Your Eyes, you're going to correct me, but it's just like, what happened to them? It felt like this band had some energy behind them back in 2012, especially with this song, because right away when I started playing the video, I'm like, yeah, dude, I fucking remember this song, but ever since that point, it seems like they've just kind of fallen off. So anyways, let's continue. All right. Close Your Eyes, Song for the Broken. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe the other thing that I wanted to say that was running through my mind while listening to that song is I also really appreciate the message and the sentiment behind this song. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit off in my analysis, but when you have a song that says Song for the Broken and the stuff that he's talking about in the lyrics, I mean, it seems like this is for people that are depressed or are lost in life, kind of trying to find a way to give people hope. And that's what I love about art. That's what I love about music. You know, there's a lot of bands, there's a lot of people that like I gravitate towards, especially growing up, going through dark moments, or your adolescent years where you think like the world is caving in on you and your high school sweetheart break up. There's music out there that like literally fucking heals people, saves people, or helps them get through a tough time. And so I really, really think not only does this song sound fucking great, I mean, like I said, it has a catchy chorus and a hook, and the guy's voice is great, and there's a evolution between him sort of singing, but then there's also some growling, there's some grunting in there, really good use of instruments. The sentiment is probably what carries this song the most. Is, you know, this is our anthem, this is our song, you know, we're gonna sing it out loud to the fucking bitter end. And I mean, you see these guys in the band uniting with one another, and I'm sure that solidarity really made them feel the message that they were creating behind making this song. And I think that just unites the people that listen to it, or their fan base, or, you know, I don't know if bands ever really like, you talk about marketing and you know, advertising and stuff like that towards a certain demographic of people. I don't think that like artists or bands or anybody, I don't think they ever really think about that. I think they just make the shit that they want to make, you know, and maybe I'm wrong, you know, but it seems like there's a very clear picture and message with this song is to help people that are broken or are depressed or anxious, or, you know, just feeling like the weight of the world is taking them under. And it's crazy because this song was actually released, well, at least this music video was released September 30th of 2011, and we're 10 years away from that point, fast forwarded, and I would argue that the world is even more fucked up than the moment that they released this song. Like, and I don't know what that's a tribute to. I don't know why that is, if it's just because of social media. I mean, I have my hypothesis. I think social media has really fucked us up in a lot of negative ways, and I think there's a lot of people out there that feel like they're broken, they're done for, they can't fix their life, they can't get it together and you know, find meaning, find purpose. And so it's honestly really sad because we talk about COVID and everything like that. That's a whole can of worms that I'm not willing to get into, but I know that, you know, recently in the news there's been the talk of the Delta variant. But you talk about the amount of people that have died from COVID, which is honestly a pretty small number. And if we were to compare like the types of diseases, illnesses, fatalities, crashes, the things that kill people in the world, I'm pretty sure suicide is very high up on that list, and it's definitely more than the amount of people that have died from COVID. But yet I feel like there is still this very taboo sort of connotation around the topic of suicide or mental health. Now we've gotten better. I will say, in the last 10 years, there has been a significant progression in the types of conversations that we're having around mental health, but we still need to bridge that gap and to go a little bit further if we're really going to help people and really save people. And maybe this is what ties into that idea of social media. I think people have become so isolated, so on their own. They don't have their tribe. They don't have those people that they mesh with. And so it's making a lot of us feel like we're just on our fucking own. And, you know, I think that there's a lot of people out there that feel that way, you know, that can't verbalize it, can't express it in the way that they want to, so they let their feelings and their emotions and whatever the hell that they're going through, they let that sort of turn into a tsunami and consume them, and they have nobody, they have no outlet that they can go to. I will say right fucking now, therapy has been one of the biggest game changers to ever enter my life. I found a great therapist back in 2019, and I'm still with her, and it's altered the direction of my life. So if there is anybody that watches my video that gets anything out of this, I will say right now, like, it is not fucking weak at all to go see a fucking therapist. And I know a lot of people, it depends on where you're at in your journey, but because I was like that, you know, a few years ago before I got to therapy, I didn't know how to talk about my shit, man. I just kept things suppressed, and I feel like I don't want to go out there on a limb and make this statement, but I feel like it's almost worse for men, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a man, but I feel like in today's day and age, in today's society, men are, you know, we got like all these different fucking gender roles, but like guys are typically looked at as, you know, supposed to be macho man, not fucking show your feelings, not be sensitive, not cry, anything like that. And I think it's kind of caused this really nasty ripple effect where a lot of guys just feel like, you know, they can't talk about their issues, and so they keep everything bottled in. And then at some point, if you've bottled things in for, you know, your entire life, that can only go so far, man. That cup is gonna, that cup or that bottle is gonna explode at some point, man. It's like putting I don't even know. It's like a fucking massive explosion waiting to happen. And so again, I'm not trying to single out guys. I'm just speaking from my experience in living in the United States, living in our society today. I found that to be the case, and I always thought that I was kind of weak. That I'm more of a sensitive guy that's more in touch with his feelings, and I always thought that might have been unattractive to women that I might have been pursuing. But I want to make this statement clear to not just men. I want to make it clear to women too. Go to therapy, man. Even if you don't have trauma, even if you don't have like emotional baggage, like, it can help you out tremendously. So that's just kind of what this song made me think of. And like I said, I think it's a beautiful meaning behind what they created in this song, and I think that's honestly partly why it did so well. But you guys will have to keep me informed. If you're a close your eyes fanatic, you got to let me know what happened to these guys over the years, because it seemed like they had a strong entryway into our ears back in 2011, and then it's like I haven't heard of these guys since, so I don't know what happened. But anyways, that's my reaction. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys once again for supporting me. Hopefully you will find some value in my videos and go over to my Patreon page now that I have that created. Looking forward to continuing to do these music reactions, but also wanting to give you guys more content. So please let me know if you have any ideas or suggestions on top of the songs that you want me to cover, the artists that you want me to look at. But we're going to try and take this to the next level and evolve this channel. So I thank you for showing up. Please like the video if you're here. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new. Tell your friends, tell people that haven't heard of Music Monday, and we're going to keep it going. So anyways, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much. I will see you on the next video. All right, bye-bye.